on the outsides of the door.
Yeah.
Are you going to get to it or you don't know?
No explanation.
And then, like, the other stuff, like, all the people's stuff in the shed, like, I thought
people
for
just
sure,
booked.
like, you were going to say, oh, there was a serial killer there and it'd, like, lock his victims into the
I don't know.
room.
I mean, maybe he was, it says, I have to wonder how much of the house was left over from when it was slave quarters.
Yeah.
You locking your slaves in at night?
Oh, no, that's really
I
creepy.
don't know. It's hard to say with these stories. Yeah. So 2 years after the last time Steven was in the house, a friend in that neighborhood told Steven that in the middle of the night, a police car came speeding through the neighborhood. And after that, a whole family came out running from the house in their pajamas and left and never came back.
Oh my gosh. They need to, like, just burn the house down.
It's now a dog kennel.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And the new owners, so the old lady no longer owns it, and the new owners turned it into a dog kennel and have no plans on returning the property to a residential rental.
Okay, but now I feel bad for the dogs.
Yeah.
Because dogs are sensitive to that stuff, and now I feel really bad for the dogs.
Yeah.
They're probably being tortured. I would not send my dog there. Daisy would not be going there.
Yeah.
Those poor dogs. Yeah, no, I would definitely move. Or, I mean, you could call and find out if there's, like, an insurance policy for fire on the house.
Yeah. So there's the outside front of the house.
Okay, looks so normal.
Yep, so normal.
Wouldn't think twice about that house if I passed it.
Yep. And we'll put pictures in the video for people on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's the back of the house.
Looks normal. There's literally nothing that pops out about that house either.
Yeah. And so there's the living room with the cherub wallpaper.
Okay. Yep.
And then one of those, I think that picture is the angel picture.
That finally stayed.
Yeah, it finally stayed.
Stay there, damn it.
Yep. Here's the... Dang it. Still getting used to the setup. There's the basement.
Okay, the basement's definitely creepy.
Yeah.
You can tell by the way that the house is set up.
A nice little hose just laying out there. Yeah.
The house is set up that it's old.
Yeah.
And it has those wood pillars.
Yep. Okay, so there's another angle of the living room.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've seen people's houses, and they're very old, and they're set up just like that.
There's the daughter's room.
It looks nice. Like, the woodwork is really nice.
Oh, they loved the woodwork.
Yeah, I bet. The woodwork was great.
And then here is a picture of that...
the cemetery.
The cemetery and that guy, John T. Crow, his headstone.
Oh, and he has such a big headstone.
Yeah.
What did he do to deserve
that? So then here you can see... That's people walking into where the fruit cellar would be, or root cellar.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't find that picture now. Oh, here you go.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's pretty creepy.
Okay, hold up. That's the picture that he found online, or that's the picture his brother took?
No, I think that's like an enhanced version, the enhanced version of the picture his brother took. It's not like, it's not like that. It's like zoomed in to the face.
Oh my god, that'd be...
Yeah, and
his
then...
eyes are like black.
Yep.
That's scary. And that's the guy.
Yep.
Huh. That's freaky.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yep. So that is the Screaming House of Union, Missouri.
Okay. Now I get to scare you. All right. So this is the story about Letta Me Out, the haunted doll. So before I get started and people are like, haunted dolls, that's not scary. He is so scared of dolls. So this is why I picked this. So before you're like, oh, that's lame. That's why I picked it.
So I recently learned, though, like the science behind the fear of dolls, clowns, taxidermy. It's something called the uncanny valley. And it's a whole, like, scientific study they did on how close something looks to being human and how far away it looks from being human. And there's a spot where it looks so close, but there's something just off that it's not human.
And it freaks you out a little bit.
And it freaks people out. Like, so if you want to do some further reading on it, check out, the uncanny valley. Daisy, knock it off.
The dog's going to start now. All right, so this starts in the small town of Wagga Wagga in New South Wales, Australia.
Oh, okay. Oh, Aussies. Okay.
So in 1972, a guy named Kerry Walton was going back home for his grandmother's funeral. And while he's there, him and his brother decide to go to this old abandoned house that was in their neighborhood when they were growing up, and they were terrified of it. And so it was kind of like one of those funny things, like,
right,
let's go face our childhood fears,
right,
and all of that. So they go, and Carrie is a bottle collector. So he likes old bottles and that sort of thing. So Carrie decides he's going to go in this house, like a double thing. He's going to go face his fears, but then he's also going to look for collectibles.
Like, okay, yeah.
So that's the other reason that he wants to go.
Okay.
So he goes, they go in the house, no big deal, whatever. So he decides that he's going to go underneath the house.
Like a crawl space or like a basement?
Like a porch type area. Okay. And like he can go underneath the floorboards of this like porch and then into the house. This is a really old house, I guess. So he goes underneath the floorboards and he has his flashlight and he's crawling and his flashlight hits something and he's like, that's weird. What is that? And he gets closer and he jumps back and hits his head so hard on the top of the thing. He almost knocks himself out. Ugh. And what he thinks he's seeing is a dead child.
Ugh.
That's what he thinks that he sees at first.
He's not seeing that, though.
No. So he takes his light and he looks again, and he sees this doll. And I will show you what this doll looks like. So you can kind of have just this idea of this doll.
No. Nope. That is not okay.
Okay, so this doll is about 3 feet tall. It's a big doll. Ugh. It's not little.
I kind of want to see it again.
Okay.
Because I like looked and then looked away really quick. Okay, so it's so weird, like...
It is so weird, right?
Proportions. Like, okay, so we'll put this on the video.
Yeah.
For YouTube. So if you're listening on iTunes and you want to go see it, go to YouTube and see this. This thing, it's so, like, proportionately weird.
Yeah. Okay, so he sees this doll. And immediately he's drawn to this doll. He's not scared of it anymore. He just immediately feels this need to take the doll.
Like a connection with it?
Yes.
That's no good. That is no good.
He feels like he has to take this doll home. And so, one of the things that he noticed about this doll was that this doll had probably been there for a very long time.
Yeah.
And this area floods a lot. But the paint, still intact. Like, the facial features, still intact. And the clothing, still intact.
Yeah, it looks like fine.
So, that didn't really make sense to him, why it was in such good condition when when it floods really bad.
Right.
Another strange thing to add in here, I guess after he took the doll from underneath the porch, exactly 1 month later, the house was demolished.
Oh.
That house had sat there for years upon years, abandoned. And then he took the doll, and 1 month to the day,
it gets demolished. That's odd.
He said that he felt like it was almost like the doll was calling out to someone to come take him.
Save it.
To save him. Yeah.
I'm guessing in saving the doll, he doomed himself. Okay. All right.
So he's getting this doll. He's examining it before they put it in the car. And he's looking and notices that the skull cap comes off.
Oh, come on. Why?
Because inside is what looks like a brain. It's like paper mache.
Brain?
It's like a brain inside this doll's head. It's
That's
like
weird.
A paper mache type brain. Like, it's pink, it's crinkled up, and it looks exactly like a brain.
That
Except
is
it's
weird.
made with, like, paper or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's weird.
Yeah, that's...
He says, when one lifts up the top of the doll's head, there's a brain. It looks something like the color of wet newspaper. That's exactly what Carrie said.
Yeah. It's about the right color for brains.
Yeah. So they put this doll in a big sack. And they put it in the back seat. They just kind of put it back there.
Seems like a bad idea.
So they're driving, and out of the corner of his eye, he keeps thinking he sees this bag move. And he's like, oh, that's weird. And then his brother also says, do you hear the bag rustling? And he's like, yeah. And I swear, I thought that I seen that bag move. And so the brothers are kind of freaked out.
Yeah.
But then also kind of like jokingly call the doll Letta Me Out. Letta Me Out. Yes. So that is how Letta got his name.
That's kind of a girl's name, isn't it? Letta? Like Loretta?
They said the name came from because he kind of looked like Romani. Like.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. And it's like what's the word? Morphic? Is that the right word? When you don't... No, not amorphic. Androgynous. Yeah, androgynous. Yeah. It's pretty androgynous looking. Like, you can't quite tell.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So he gets the doll home. He takes it home. And he walks in, and his dog, which is a corgi, super, like, good-natured, all of a sudden loses his mind. Just starts barking and growling and lunging at the bag.
Yeah, dogs know best.
And when he showed his family, they said that they felt repulsed by the figure.
Yeah,
by
so
the doll.
Does it say how... Okay, so Carrie is the one who's drawn to it. Does it say how the other brother feels about the doll?
No, it didn't really say.
Okay, but the rest of the family's like, F this.
Right,
okay.
Exactly.
And the dog wants to destroy it, which you should have just let the dog destroy it, obviously, or we wouldn't be sitting here talking about it.
They said that it's the way the eyes are on you all the time. That's what the relatives said about why they don't like the doll.
Yeah, like they say that's like pareidolia, like your brain trying to make sense.
Right.
But nah, I think there's...
So, but the kids apparently played with this doll. His kids apparently had no issues with this doll during the day.
Oh, during the day.
During the day, they would play with this doll, and it would be fine. During the night, they woke up screaming, and they said Letta Me Out would move.
Oh.
And wake them. Yeah. And then they also were finding strange scuff marks, like it was from his shoes walking.
Yeah.
Each morning, they'd wake up. Each night when the kids would say, "It's Letta Me Out," they'd wake up and there would be scuff marks, like the doll was actually
shuffling around,
walking around.
Nope. Burn barrel time.
Some people would, even if they came in the house, would start feeling sick. Some people even fainted.
Like just from being in the house with the doll?
Just like seeing the doll.
Oh, just sitting there, yeah.
It would like make them sick. Some people fainted. Some people were overcome by different emotions, whether it be sadness or just different types of emotions.
Yeah, just flat out fear.
And not only his dog, but other dogs would react to Letta. So
yeah, that's when you know it's bad. When every dog hates it.
Yeah. They would all try to attack it. They'd growl at him, like just, lose their business. Eventually, it got to the point where he had to take the doll and put it in the basement because his kids were so scared of the doll. So scared of
it. That even at the daytime, they're like, nope, no more.
Yeah, we're not going to play this doll anymore.
F that doll. F that doll.
So he ended up having to put it in the basement.
I bet that made it happy.
Yeah. When he does take it outside, it rains. Every time.
So it's just like, it's so, like, creepy for him, like, on his part, that he's, like, taking the doll out to play, or, like...
Well, I guess a couple times he took it out for different reasons, which I'll kind of get to.
Okay, I thought he was just like, oh, time to come out of the basement and get your son for the day.
No.
It's your 2 hours in the yard.
Yeah. No, but like when he would take it outside, it would be raining. Like it would start to rain as soon as he would bring this doll outside. Okay, so because there had been so many weird things that had happened around the doll, the owners decided that they wanted to learn about the doll. So they took it to some experts.
Okay.
And they had it carbon dated, I guess, like analyzed by toy experts. Yeah,
probably like toy experts could say like, okay, you know, like this style.
Right.
I mean, I guess they could maybe take like some, I don't know if you'd really do carbon dating or on that. I think it would be more like style dating, I guess.
Oh, okay. And then, hold on. It tells you how they did this.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So they dated the doll to be about 200 years old by analyzing the nails in the doll's wooden feet.
Oh, yeah.
And
square hand-forged nails, probably.
Yeah. And they traced it back to Romania, which is where the Romani look comes from.
Nothing good comes out of Romania. Sorry, Romanians.
And then this is when they also found out that the doll's hair was real human hair. It was not horse hair. It was not like any other sort of hair.
You know what the messed up thing? Hair. That's common. Like they did that all the time. Like when like a kid died.
Wait. Let's not bring this. Let's not bring this up because this is going to come up later in the story.
Yeah. Woo!
Yay for you! Yippee! So after he learned about the age and the rarity of this doll, he decided that he would try to see if he could get a good amount of money for this doll.
Oh yeah, get the hell out of there.
So he received a generous offer. Took the doll from the basement to his vehicle. It was raining.
Of course.
And so he gets to the buyer's house. And when he gets there, he's like frozen in the car.
Like he cannot
get out of the car. He feels like he's just glued, like, hands on the steering wheel. Just, he feels like he literally cannot get out of the car. And it's not that, like, something is negatively holding him back. It's like that he feels like he can't give this doll up. So it's like that connection. Not so much that the doll's like, you'll never get rid of me.
It's more like, you don't want to get rid of me.
Yeah, look how nice I am.
Letta, let me introduce you to my friend, Kerosene.
So after they found out how old he was and he was trying to sell him, he listed him online, all of that.
Right.
He kind of became a celebrity. Letta became really popular. People were really interested in this doll and its story.
People are sick.
And so a host of a daytime, like a news talk show or something, the local one in Australia, arranged a meeting between Carrie, Letta, and a highly regarded psychic to have the doll read to see, like, what's going on with the doll.
Okay, I'm getting skeptical.
Okay, so this is verbatim what the psychic says.
Okay.
When the doll arrived in my office in the rain, a painting immediately fell from the wall and the clock stopped. The camera crew organized themselves, and I placed the doll on my lap. Then, ever so slowly, the doll moved its head. You could hear the wood creaking and as it turned and looked directly at the camera. One of the cameramen went deathly white and ran out the back door. The entire event was broadcast to thousands of viewers.
Oh, so this wasn't just like the psychic saying this? Like
this
it was... Okay, never mind. Maybe less skeptical.
Of viewers. As I tuned into the doll, I discovered the soul of a 6-year-old boy who was trapped within the wooden vessel. The child had drowned during a storm in an isolated area of Romania. So that's what she said, verbatim. And then she went on to explain that the boy's father was so heartbroken about the death of his son that he crafted this doll to look like his son. And then they conducted apparently this was a popular thing, soul transference.
Yes, yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, so I guess you, like, have to cut their chest open and stuff and perform a ritual for the soul to leave the human body and go into the new body that you made. Yeah, the
Romanians or the Romani, even just, you know, not outside of that, the Romanians are really, like, superstitious, I guess. Like, we were watching that thing on vampires.
Yeah. Oh, and they, like, dug the people up.
Yeah, and this was, like... 2000 and...
This was recent.
Yeah, it was like 2002. I mean, recent. It was modern. And the guy died, and everyone thought he was wicked. And then he died, and everyone was being haunted in their dreams by this guy. So the townspeople dug this man's corpse up, cut his heart out, burned it, and then ate it. In 2002, I believe.
They literally see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and they're like... on the show... The host went to the guy, the, like, leader of this group who did it, and he's like, why? He goes, I did what I had to do.
He's like, you don't feel bad? He's like, nope.
Nope. He goes, I was saving everyone in the village.
Yeah, like, that is really, like, truly a belief. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, his father... made the doll, soul transference, the ceremony, which that in itself is hella freaky.
Yeah, no.
So apparently this child has been trapped in this doll's body
for a long ass time.
Centuries. Yes. And she said that he is confused and scared.
Okay.
And apparently the doll was brought to Australia by an immigrant and stored beneath the house. That's how it ended up in Australia. I don't know how it ended up from the dad to an immigrant. I don't know if the dad was an immigrant.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know.
Well, if it's 200 years old, it's probably passed
and
down the family line,
yeah.
and then someone...
And maybe he put it underneath the floorboards because of the activity that comes along with owning the doll.
Burn that. You burn it dead.
But now don't you feel a little bit more sad? Like, if it's a 6-year-old, that's sad.
Yeah, well, let him free. Burn him.
Okay. So after this broadcast, which I would have loved to watch, by the way. Yeah. An American Paranormal Society reached out to him and wanted to come do a seance with Letta. So the Americans came, and they, during the seance, told him that he would never be able to get rid of the doll.
It was his forever now.
It was his forever. And he said that's explains why he couldn't get like out of the car and get rid of this doll. They wanted to make him a TV show in the United States. Letta.
Yeah, okay, so I haven't heard the story, but I've heard of that. Like, I've heard of a thing about a paranormal research group wanting to give a haunted doll a TV show.
Yeah, he said no. Carrie said absolutely not. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's weird. But he does take him out to other shows and, like, lets psychics read him and does stuff like that so other people can meet the doll. So he did a show. There was about 200 people there. It was an outdoor show. Okay. Guess what the weather was? I'm going to say it was raining. So it was raining. Carrie said, we had placed the doll on stage and the crowd was beginning to gather around when suddenly a woman started screaming. Then, as he hushed the crowd, looked on, and the doll moved its head.
Oh, nope. No.
And through the years...
Oh, I just saw your reflection in the glass door. Okay, so we're on one side of the room. On the other side of the room is, what do you call it? Double doors?
Yeah.
Double doors that are all glass panes. And we have a light, like a filming light, set up facing at the door. So all I seen was the shine of her glasses and the outline of her face.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Are you going to be okay?
I'm good. All right, more beer. Okay.
So...
I can guarantee that's going to get me again before the end of this.
Well, we're almost done.
Okay, all right. I'm just going to have to stare at your reflection in them.
And throughout the years, many psychics and whatnots have come and all have repeated the same thing. Even if they hadn't heard, what other people had said about the doll. Yeah. It has been reiterated over and over and over that it's the soul of a 6-year-old boy inside this doll. Yeah. Carrie says on rare occasions, he sees the doll move.
Like, still just, like, sees it move.
Still, to this day. This is a present day
He hasn't exercised, this son of a bitch?
No.
Get him out of there. Let him be free.
No, he can't. Remember?
Why?
The seance people. They said that he can't.
He's not get rid of the doll. Let the boy's soul free.
Well, apparently, he's attached to the kid.
True. Then if they take the soul out of the doll.
Right. Then it's not the doll.
Then it's just like floating around.
It's just like an empty carcass.
Yeah. I don't know.
So this is a present day update on Letta.
Oh, yay.
He still sees him move. For a while, he had him on a rocking chair that was upstairs. And his arms and legs would move randomly on their own. Like, from different positions. Just like... move.
Like, just like, or like.
I think it's like not like a bunch of movements. It's probably just like one.
Yeah.
Like real quick, and you're like, whoa, what the hell? And then, yeah, like that.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was just like, if it's like, oh, it's a wooden doll, so, but probably still, it's still like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was like just like flopping out to the side, but.
No, it's like precise movements. Right. Precise movements.
It's a whole lot of nope.
He also says that they'd have people come to work on the house. They own a house. You got to fix crap.
Yeah.
And guys would get there, like the tradesmen would get there and refuse to enter the house. They didn't even know about Letta being in the house. They would just get there and say, nope, not going in, and refuse to work on their house and leave.
Man, that's like, it's so weird though that it's like the soul of a 6-year-old boy who's like, he's lost and confused.
But then it's terrifying to everyone else.
But then it's terrifying to everyone else.
I don't know.
I don't know if maybe it's like, like found its place now and is comfortable, so he's afraid like anyone else is gonna like take him away.
So he's like gotta scare everybody. I don't know. Or maybe they just sense there's something paranormal.
Yeah, maybe. And I'm sure that's got to be throwing the mood.
Yeah, so they just sense something paranormal in the house, and they're like, no, not doing that. He said that they just felt an evil presence when they would get toward the house.
See, that's what it's like. That's what throws me off. Is there something else in there?
Right. I don't know.
With him?
I don't know. But apparently this guy doesn't think so. He just thinks it's a boy.
Yeah, that's weird. But like,
I don't know.
Because I've heard, like, you hear of like possessions of people where there's like, could be up to like 100.
Like 100 things inside
like 100
one person.
Demons or whatever inside of one person.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's so weird, because why the evil feeling? Like, why do they feel evil coming off of it when it's supposed to be like...
I don't know. Apparently, Carrie's family is pretty attached to the doll now.
Oh, so they need to be committed.
His wife says, he's married, by the way. Married, kids, all that. His wife says she insists that the doll can change his facial expressions. So she says one day he'll appear sad. The next day, he'll be happy. He can change how his face looks.
As soon as that thing switches to angry, he's getting punted out of the house. If it's enough. Oh, no. Bye-bye.
Now, Letta has a Facebook page, and the posts are written in first person, as if Letta is the one typing the Facebook post.
Oh, that is too much.
So you can go like his page.
No, I can't. I cannot. No.
And that is the story of Letta Me Out.
That is. Oh boy, that's something, man. I don't know about all that, because there's got to be something else in there with him.
I don't know. I read that story, and it started with like the real human hair and looked like a dead child, had the brain, and then it added in all the
the brain. What the crap?
I'm like, oh, this is so perfect.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Okay, so I don't get it, but the whole soul transference thing, I guess. But why put a brain in it? To
make it seem more realistic, I guess.
I guess. Good Lord. Well, I had a whole beer when she started, pretty much a whole beer when she started the story.
Oh, that made me so happy.
Oh, I'm so glad. I think that affected me much more than my story affected you.
Your story was really scary.
Yeah.
It just gives me so much joy.
Yeah.
To tell you this story.
There is not a lot that scares me. Like, I can watch horror movies, ghost movies, demonic movies. I can listen to podcasts about demonic possession. Dolls. Ugh.
I know. And it's so funny because, like, ghosts and demons are like my...
Yeah, ghosts and demons. Yeah, she does not mess around with that.
I'm not even.
Like, I was like listening to a podcast where they had like recordings from an exorcism. And like, yeah, it's like, ooh, it's a little chilly. But it's not like, went right to bed afterwards.
Yeah, no, that shit keeps me up. That's scary. Ugh.
Yeah. You want me to find it? I can probably find it.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate the offer.
So yeah, I hope you guys like this and enjoyed this.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun for us. This is we're kind of keeping, I guess, our format of how we do the podcast kind of loose, just kind of whatever idea comes to mind for, the next podcast, we run with that. Beer burp. And it's we really enjoy doing this, and I hope other people enjoy it also.
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
It's fun. Gives us something to do together, and So I think that's it for today. If you guys could please, we're on iTunes. If you could leave a rating and review. If you catch this on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit a thumbs up, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from people.
Yes.
If anybody has, like I said, I guess it's kind of hard to define the podcast that we do.
It is.
Because we kind of like, we have a lot of interest, and we like talk, because like what we do like this is normally like our car rides.
Yeah, these are like the types of conversations that we have like all the time.
Like laying in bed at night, or like, going to riding in the grocery store to a doctor's appointment, whatever. So we're kind of just bringing that into this form.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you could leave a review, if you want to email us with suggestions, you can get us at cmkspod@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram as Safety Third Forge, and on YouTube as Safety Third Forge Outdoors and More.
And I'm a mom's point of view on YouTube. And I just want to add, let me know if you want to hear the story about how I pranked him with a doll.
Oh, in this room.
In this exact room.
At this desk. It was facing different.
At this desk.
Yeah.
In his chair.
Yeah.
So let me know, and we will start the next podcast
with
that story of how that happened.
Yeah, so that was...
It's hilarious.
Just after we moved into the house, too.
Yeah,
it was like the first week.
Very long at all.
So I think that's it for today. Goodbye to everybody. I hope you have a good night. Sleep tight.
Yeah.